All right, now we're getting into the nitty gritty, right? So now you have set up your appointment. I'm sorry, set up the system, and you set up your Calendly account. You set up your Craigslist account. You ran your ads, and you should get them. And if you've done it correctly, and you set everything up through your Google Calendar, you should have everything set up already to automatically send you an email whenever you do get an appointment. And then as soon as you do get that appointment, it'll log right here in your calendar, right? So it'll give you all of that stuff in your calendar. So, and be sure to make sure you have the 2 questions set where you get their email and you get their phone number. Those are crucial because when I first did this, I only got the email and people weren't showing up, and I completely wasted the money that I spent on the first few ads that I ran. So make sure you have the phone number in there so you can give them a call, communicate back and forth with them. So here is what I do whenever I am closing an appointment. And a lot of this has to do with your posture and how you feel about the company, how you feel about your business, how you feel about your team, right? And it's hard to have that when you don't have anything set up. But they don't know that yet. No one really knows that you don't have anything set up yet. The only thing that matters is that, 1, you have a system that works. Number 2, you have a duplicatable system. And number 3, you're looking for a select number of people to get it or to give it to for free, right? And those are the things that you want to relay to those people that you're talking to, along with making sure they're committed, right? That's probably more important than anything else. So I digress. Let's go into the appointment. So this is now you've ran your ad. You got a notification saying, hey, Brett Hancock has set an appointment at 4:45 p.m. So you're like, okay, great. So you check it out. You look at what he said. He's like, okay, there's his email. He does sales. That's his cell number. You kind of maybe do a quick search on him on Facebook, see what he's about, see what he's doing, right? And you're waiting for the call. Now it is, the time for the phone call, 4:45, whatever, and you give him a call. So there's 2 ways that can go. Either they don't answer or they answer, right? So if they don't answer, wait 5 minutes. Or if they don't answer, hang up, send them a text message, say, hey, this is so-and-so with Repair Squad, and we had a call set up at blank time. Does this still work for you? And then wait 5 minutes, and then give them another call back, right? That's what you do if they don't answer. Now, with that being said, if they do answer, you want to set an agenda with them, right? You want to make sure that, because I only have it set for 15-minute increments because that's all you really need. 20 maybe if they're really good and they have some questions. But that's it. No more than 15, 20 minutes. So when you're calling them and it's time for that appointment, you say, hey, I'm just going to use John as an example. So you call him and you're like, hey, John, this is Adam from Repair Squad. We had a call at blank time. Does this time still work for you? And he's like, yeah, great. So this call is really just an intro call to put a voice to a name and to see if it's really a good fit for you and for the company. And if it is, we can schedule a call either later today or later on this week to follow up and move forward with everything. Does that sound fair enough? Yes. Great. So what I'm going to do now is ask you a couple questions to get to know you a little bit better. And then afterwards, kind of tell you a little bit more about Repair Squad and what I'm looking for. So the first question that I have is, what are you doing now? It says you're doing sales. Let them answer. Be like, great. How do you like it? And during all this, you're taking notes. And to you, what does a perfect job look like? Right? And so you're trying to get a really good feel for what they are looking for, right? So when you're doing that, obviously you want to take notes and you want to use all that information to build your case about Repair Squad. So boom, so it's right there. After they answer all the questions, you'll be like, great. So let me tell you a little bit more about what we're looking for, right? And so you're starting to explain Repair Squad and what Repair Squad does. Now, the second part of that is what you're looking for. So what I'm looking for are for 15 people. And I know you're wondering why 15, but I'll explain. I'm looking for 5 really, but I know that not everyone is ambitious or as hardworking as others. This isn't for everyone. And for that reason, I'm looking for 15 committed people to spend the majority of my time with to train and develop. So I've already found 4, and I plan on having all the positions filled by the end of the month. Does Repair Squad sound like something you'd be interested in doing, right? Because you already explained what Repair Squad is. You want to get them bought in. And they're like, yeah, it's something I think, makes sense. Like, great. So I already have a system in place that yields me appointments, exactly like what you did, right? You scheduled an appointment, boom, it pops up. It's crazy how that happens, right? Well, I get 15 to 20 of those every single day. That's why this is only for 15 minutes. So what I'm looking for are 4 non-negotiables, and here's what they are. 1, you have to follow the system. You have to do the daily task to contact the prospects. You have to run the ads. You have to make the appointments that people set, and you also have to send in the results at the end of the day. Number 2 is you have to have funds to do ads. And number 3 is you have to buy, whatever plan it is. It could be like the lowest plan. You have to buy our something plan. And then you ask, does that sound like something that you're willing to do? And if they say, yeah, I don't know, and you're like, great, that's fine. I'm not expecting you to make a decision right here on the spot. That's why I want to schedule a call a few days from now if this is something remotely that you're interested in doing. And if they say, okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Can you send me more information? Then you send them more information about it. And you just keep going on to the next one. Because look, what's going to happen is you'll schedule that follow-up call with them. And if they show up, great. And they might be like, oh, well, I still got to think about it. You're like, all right, great. Well, look, by the end of the month, and this is not a sales tactic by any means, and you can sign up at any time that you want. It's always going to be there. But the people that I'm spending my time with, that's going to fill up fast. So if you want to do this, let me know. You reach out to me because I don't have time to send out a text or to follow up due to the amount of appointments that I have. But just let me know what your thoughts are and we'll move forward from there. Does that sound fair enough? Like, yeah, great. Awesome. So let me send you this email. I want to make sure you're on the phone with me. So that way I know that you get it. Okay. What's the best email for you? And they give you your email, they send it. Make sure that they get it, right? So that way you know it's there. Like, okay, great, awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. And hang up. Go on to the next one. And I can't tell you how many people had called me back. They're like, dude, you never followed up with me. I told you. I was like, I don't have time to do it. I said, I'm glad you called me, though. Are you ready to do this? And you're like, yeah. And believe it or not, those are the people that are still in with me today. And I only have about 4 or 5 that are actively like high up in my organization, right? Those are the people, the ones that call back, the ones that have the most questions. Those are going to be the best ones, right? Majority of the time. So, and like I said, they're still actively promoting today. Like I told you, I'm only looking for 4 or 5 people to really sit there and, blow this thing out the water. 15 is just a number that I want to, find the 5, right? And once I find those 5, boom, I start over again. I look for another 15 because they're already duplicating the system. So that's how I run my appointments. I wouldn't even say very scripted, but it's very planned out. It's very strategic. And I get them bought in. And I'll kind of break it down on the reasons why I do some of the things in here. So if we look up here where it says, hi, this is Adam from Repair Squad. We had to call it blank time. Does this time still work for you? Reason why I ask that is because sometimes it's not the best time. Sometimes they're in the hospital right now and they don't have time to talk with you. People are going to respect you if you respect their time, and they're going to respect yours as well. And if they say yes, boom, you already got them to say yes once, right? Hey, great, this call is more of an intro call. Does that sound fair enough? Everyone's going to say yes. Boom, you got them to say yes again. And you want them to say yes as much as possible, right? So that's the reasoning behind those few right there. And then here, you want to, as far as asking them the questions, and these aren't the only questions you can ask. You can look up other great questions to ask and, kind of add yours in there. I'll put it as a Word document so that way you can edit and, have something to write on. Let them answer. And this is where you get them to really, chomp at the bit, right? Like just hook them and be like, look, I'm looking for a certain person It has to be this person. If you're not that person, that's fine. Let me know now so I can move on to the next person. And that all comes with posture whenever you're talking with these people, because like I said, this might be the first person you ever enrolled into Repair Squad or anything, right? But they don't know that. They don't know that. I mean, you could be a top person in Repair Squad. It doesn't matter. Whatever you got to say to make them think, or whatever you think you have to say to make them feel that they're talking with someone who has influence, that's great, right? I mean, I'm not saying lie to these people, because that's not a good practice, but I'm saying whatever you have to do to make yourself feel confident when you're talking on the phone is something that's going to help you. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. My phone's always on, and I'll see you guys later. All right.